On today's show we're going to do some ribs with the Dr Pepper Glaze. It's not just any ribs either. This is Iberico ribs, which means they're meatier and they're fattier, and fat is flavor, and I love flavor, and Iberico ribs are just about the best ribs I've ever had. So we're gonna prep these as usual, apply a rub. We're gonna cook up a real good Dr Pepper glaze. We're gonna smoke them in my kettle over here with the slow and sear. The main reason for picking this one today is there's a general fire ban where I live, so you can't make up open fires, but a contained fire in the kettle is okay according to legislation. I think it's important to stick to that because I don't want to be the moron who actually sets half the block on fire. Anyhow, so safety is important, but let's get to prepping the ribs. So first things, just get that plastic wrap off. Man, these look good. These typically take a bit longer than the usual, what I call shiners that are available where I live, so I'm real happy to get these. I've done them a few times. Always such a great success. These look really good. I'm not gonna do any trimming really. I'm gonna remove the silvery membrane. Gonna see how this looks like. I typically check the back end. If it's just too thin, I'm just gonna cut it off. Yeah, that one's gonna be a treat for my dog, but except for that, it's looking good. Some could argue there's just a bit of too much fat up here, but actually I'm gonna leave it because this is gonna taste wonderful. So let's get to removing the membrane. I do as I usually do, just poke a knife in here, try to lift it up a bit. Get some here paper and grab it because this is a slippery sucker. Sometimes you get it all off, sometimes you have to do it a few times, but persistence is key. Alright, prep is done, time to apply the rub. I'm going to apply the rub, I'm going to leave it for a few hours because there's a bit of salt in the rub and that's going to act as a kind of a brine, so that's why I'm doing this way before I'm actually going to cook them. But man, that's looking good. Now as for flavor, I'm going to use my own brand, Hank's KC Royale Pork and Poultry. I think this is a really good match, especially for these ribs. It's gonna add good flavor, nice citrus tones, and just a bit of gentle heat. So we're gonna apply a liberal amount of this. And then we're gonna apply the sauce later, of course. But first, get the rub on so we can get some real good bark. Now let's get a good layer on top. I usually start with the meat side. And then I flip it over and then I can touch up the meat side again, just in case it's needed. But as you can see, I'm adding a generous amount. So right, time to flip. I don't use a binder either because as you can see, the meat is moist as it is, so that means the rub is gonna stick pretty well. And just a bit of touch up. That's looking good. Right into the fridge. So now that the ribs are ready, let's step inside and cook up some real good Dr. Pepper glaze. Now, in order to make Dr. Pepper ribs, we're gonna need to make a Dr. Pepper glaze. These are the main ingredients. Well, actually, they're all ingredients. Dr. Pepper, ketchup. This is golden syrup, very dark, full of flavor. Worcestershire sauce, Dijon mustard, and some soy sauce. So we're gonna mix it up and let it simmer for 20 to 30 minutes. First out, Dr. Pepper. Now we're gonna heat it up and let it simmer. Basically reduce it a bit, but also let the flavors integrate well into the glaze. Now the sauce has been simmering for 30 minutes, so it's been reduced by a third. I'm guesstimating, so this is looking good. The taste is just right, so I'm gonna move this off the hob and just let it cool off before we start glazing the ribs. So the grill is up to temp. Got my pear wood chunks, gonna put them on. The ribs are ready, so let's get this show on the road. Alright, smoked chunks are in. Gonna get the ribs on. Gonna get this thickest part closest to the fire just in case. But there's plenty of room still. Alright, starting to smell good from the pear wood already, so let's get some smoke on. Now I'm not gonna touch these for 3 hours. Now when it comes to adding that Dr. Pepper glaze, I'm going to use a very traditional mop, just like this. I'm going to dunk it in the sauce and then just slather it on the ribs. We're going to put on 2 to 3 layers, I'll see, but every 30 to 40 minutes I'm going to slather it on until they're done. I want to build some nice caramelization and also add a lot of flavor on top of that bark we're building. So I'm going to bring out the sauce and we can start putting on that first layer. Time to take a look and start adding some good old Dr. Pepper sauce. Man, that's looking good. This is the bark I was after. Oh, this is gonna be good. Real good. Alright, this is looking good, but I'm gonna add a second layer of glaze here. Just keep adding layer after layer, building that bark and building that flavor. Oh man, this is gonna be good. They're not done yet. I'm thinking 30 to 45 minutes. But we'll see. sauce looks really good though, nice and sticky. You can see the nice smoke ring. They look tender, yeah, feels tender, so let's give it a try. The flavor's good. I like the sauce, that's really good. Just a bit too tender, but well, that's what happens if you leave it unattended for too long. So it goes to prove nobody's perfect, but still. My Iberico ribs are superb, and I like that Dr Pepper Glaze, so do give that a try. It's better, meatier flavor, more rich flavor, which is why I really like Iberico ribs. Right, I got a slab of ribs to eat, so thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next episode.